Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about the second Persian invasion. After their defeat at the Battle of Marathon, which we learned about in the last video, the Persians were determined to take revenge on Greece. This led to the second Persian invasion, a significant conflict which would shape the future of Greece and have a lasting impact on Western civilization. As we go through this video, make sure you take notes on the following. Number 1, what did the Persians do to prepare for their second invasion? Number 2, what did the Greeks do to prepare for further Persian invasions? Number 3, why was the Athenian navy particularly significant? And number 4, what key battles took place and what were their outcomes? So firstly, the Persians, under the leadership of King Xerxes, spent several years preparing for their second invasion of Greece. After succeeding Darius in 485 BC, Xerxes knew that he needed a large and powerful army to defeat the Greeks, so he began by recruiting soldiers from all over the Persian Empire, including soldiers from Egypt and India. He also built a massive fleet of ships to transport his army across the Aegean Sea to Greece. The Persians also made efforts to bribe and coerce Greek city-states to join their side and assist in the invasion. The Greeks also knew that they had to prepare for another Persian invasion. They knew that they were outnumbered and outmatched, so they focused on building up their defences and gathering allies. Two key city-states, Athens and Sparta, led the way. The Spartans, who were the dominant power in the Peloponnese, or southern Greece, were acknowledged as the leaders of the Greek city-states. They focused on building up their army and fortifying their cities. The Athenians, although not as powerful as the Spartans, had the most ships. They focused on building up their navy even further, which they knew would be crucial in any battles against the Persians. However, the other Greek city-states didn't trust them, so a Spartan was made admiral of the Greek fleet. The Greeks also sent envoys to other city-states, convincing them to join a coalition against the Persians. I'd also like to highlight the Athenian navy, which was critical to the defence of Greece during the second Persian invasion. So, the navy was able to control the waters around Greece, preventing the Persians from landing their troops in strategic locations. Additionally, the Athenian navy, as we'll see, was able to engage the Persian fleet in several key battles, which weakened the Persian army and helped the Greeks to win the war. The Athenians also used their navy to transport troops and supplies to various locations, which allowed them to quickly respond to Persian attacks and reinforce weak points in their defences. There were several key battles in the second Persian invasion, each with its own outcome and significance. You're going to pick one or two of these to look at in more detail in your internal assessment, so we're really just skimming through them in this video. Firstly, the Battle of Thermopylae. This battle took place in 480 BC at Thermopylae in central Greece. The Persians marched through Greece and eventually reached the narrow pass of Thermopylae. The Greeks, led by the Spartans, fought valiantly, but were eventually defeated due to the overwhelming numbers of the Persian army. Although later legend, such as the movie The 300, sometimes suggests that this was a real attempt to stop the Persians, it is more likely that the Spartans acted as a holding operation so that more Greek troops could gather in the south. Now the Battle of Salamis, which also took place in 480 BC. After their victory at Thermopylae, the Persians sailed towards Athens, but the Athenian navy engaged them in a battle at Salamis. The Athenians, led by Themistocles, used their superior naval tactics to defeat the Persians. They took advantage of the restricted waters between the mainland and the island of Salamis, which reduced the effectiveness of the Persians' numbers, while still allowing the more maneuverable Athenian ships to sail around. The Athenian navy won this battle, threatening to withdraw in order to force a fight before sinking many of the Persian ships and crippling their fleet. The Battle of Plataea took place in 479 BC after the Persians had spent winter in Thrace to the north of Greece. In Boeotia, the Persians were met by a combined Greek army led by the Spartans. The Greeks were able to defeat the Persians, effectively ending the Second Persian invasion. This was because the Greeks were able to rout the Persians in this battle, and at the same time a Greek fleet destroyed the Persian fleet in Mycale, which is an island off the coast of Ionia. This effectively ended the Second Persian invasion. So the Greeks were victorious in the Second Persian invasion, thanks in large part to the Athenian navy and their ability to control the seas. This victory had a significant impact on Greek and world history. It demonstrated the power of democracy and inspired future generations to fight for their own freedom and independence. The victory also solidified the Greek city-states as the dominant power in the region, leading to a period of prosperity and cultural growth, known as the Golden Age of Athens. The Second Persian invasion was a significant event in world history, demonstrating the power of determination, military strategy, and democratic ideals. The Greeks were able to come together and defeat an overwhelmingly powerful enemy, setting the stage for future conflicts, such as the campaigns of Alexander the Great, and shaping the course of Western civilization. So before we finish, make sure you've got notes on the following. Number 1, what did the Persians do to prepare for their second invasion? So that was number 1. Number 2, what did the Greeks do to prepare for further Persian invasions? Number 3, why was the navy of the Athenians particularly significant? And number 4, what key battles took place and what were their outcomes? Thanks, and I'll see you in class.